Imagine if you climbed the highest mountain in the solar system? Climbing the world's tallest mountains is a daring adventure. But you're about to make an epic extraterrestrial trek on the biggest mountain in the entire solar system. Behold Olympus Mons. This massive Martian volcano is 25 kilometers, 15.5 miles, high, making it the tallest mountain in the entire solar system. The base of Olympus Mons covers about the same amount of land as the state of Arizona, and it's nearly 3 times taller than Mount Everest. Climbing Everest is a grueling physical feat. You need to be in excellent physical shape and spend weeks acclimatizing to low oxygen levels at extreme altitudes. But thousands of people have reached the summit of Everest. Could you be the first to reach the peak of Olympus Mons? A giant moat would surround the mountain because of the sheer weight of the volcano. Now would be a good time to be a good mountaineer and check the weather. Fierce windstorms would likely be raging all over the planet. But with the thin Martian atmosphere, these winds wouldn't be as strong as on Earth. And there would be one other bonus. The atmosphere on Mars is almost entirely carbon dioxide. You'd have a spacesuit providing you with a steady supply of oxygen so you could breathe. And that means no need to adjust to the oxygen levels at different altitudes on the mountain. That's a lot different than on Mount Everest, where you'd have to worry about the so-called death zone. This is the area higher than 7.9 kilometers, 4.9 miles, where oxygen levels are critically low. The summit at the peak, you'd only breathe 1/3 of the amount of oxygen you get at sea level. Your body could begin to break down. But you wouldn't have to worry about that on Olympus Mons. You could head straight to the peak with a steady supply of oxygen. It would be best to have a smaller device to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. Otherwise, your oxygen would be too bulky to carry to the top. Your journey from the base would start with a cliff. And not just any cliff. A nearly vertical cliff as tall as Mount Everest. It could be 7 to 10 kilometers, 4 to 6 miles, high, depending on where you are. If this first leg doesn't defeat you, the slope would be more gentle from here on. You'd have about 30 hours of non-stop hiking to reach the summit, give or take. That's if nothing goes wrong on your way. But at least that would be an almost flat journey to the top. Don't forget you're doing this in a spacesuit that weighs around 38 kilograms, 83 pounds. And that's taking into account that the surface gravity of Mars is about 1/3 of Earth's. Imagine hiking Everest with the same suit. On Earth, it would weigh about 100 kilograms, 220 pounds. The suit would have everything essential to your survival. All your oxygen, food and water. And you wouldn't be able to take it off. You'd have to eat food you could reach with your mouth inside your helmet. NASA astronauts on spacewalks do this with rice paper-covered fruit and cereal bars. You'd need to eat in one bite. You wouldn't want crumbs flying around your suit. You'd need to carry your water inside the suit, too. Or at least in a temperature-controlled backpack. Water would freeze fast with the average temperature on Mars being 62 degrees Celsius, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. You'd also need to wear a thick, fast-absorbing diaper to soak up your urine. But you're finally getting close to the summit. You'd pass through thin, wispy clouds of water vapor. This would surprise you since it never rains on Mars. At the top, you'd encounter a massive collapsed crater 85 kilometers, 53 miles, wide. That's the width of Lake Ontario. With such a thin atmosphere around you, you'd feel like you are standing on an island in space.